Thank you. Okay. The topic is a bit lengthy, but it is very easy to understand. Application of quality function deployment, and this is to improve the requirements and project management in any small scale industry. Then it is easy to solve. For a big scale, that is large scale industries, the parameters will be much bigger because there will be number of parts involved in it. So you can solve it with one particular part and find out the quality for that particular part, and it can be applied to each and every parts of a component. So in this way, we can understand what is the quality requirements, and especially from the view of the customer needs. So let me proceed with the introduction. So I have already been introduced. I am from Billa Institute of Technology, Mechanical Engineering Department. And I feel that as all of you are faculty members and from mechanical mostly, you will actually be coming across, you would have come across this quality function deployment. So just for formality's sake, what QFD is and what is the methodology and what is the managing QFD process that is required. But in all this, I'm going to actually explain in terms of, first I'll be explaining the steps, how it is being solved. It is a bit lengthy because we have to inculcate we have to that is develop the house of quality. So to obtain this house of quality, there are a few 7 steps that is required. So step by step, in any of the manufacturing industry or service industry, you just follow these steps and calculations, and it will be easy for you to do a research work. Whether it is a BTech level or whether it is an MTech level or if it is a PhD level, you just can enlarge the that is the size of your project, and you can solve it with QFD in also in with some other technique, in combination with some other technique also. Then it will be more fruitful for you to get the result. Okay. So as usual, the literature review first. Whenever we go into a research work, we have to go for a literature review. I'm just showing a small literature review. I'm not going to show many slides on that. I would like to tell that QFD was actually introduced in 1960s, and the founder was Dr. Yoji Akao from Japanese. So according to him, when a man could repair a pair of shoes directly from the cobbler, he can increase his this quality by measuring the foot himself and personally handling all the aspects of manufacturing. Whatever the aspects of manufacturing means, the dimensions, the manufacturing, that is the shape, etc., processes that is required, it can be handled by the cobbler itself. That means what we are doing is we are directly trying to satisfy the customer by handling with the by being in contact with the customer itself directly. So this is what he found out initially, and that was started in 1960s. He had tried to introduce this QFD. So there have been many number of that is research that has been carried out, whether it is in dairy products or whether it is in service sectors like the education institution, banking, hospitals, then manufacturing industries. All of the manufacturing industries, especially the automobile industry, it was introduced in Toyota. It was introduced first, and it was found out to be a success. So QFD is applied to define the needs of the customer and to translate these into specific what actions is to be taken. That is what is actually QFD defining, and what will be the result of the production of these products when we meet the customer's requirements. So that is what was initially started, and it has, when it was implemented, it was found out that it is very successful. Now, what is QFD? We know that QFD means quality, function, and deployment. Okay, in a sentence we call it as quality, function, deployment. So what does quality mean? Quality is related to what the customer or the user needs, or what is expected. What is the customer needs, or we can say it as the customer expectations. That is what the quality we will be defining. And what is a function? Function is what are these customer needs when we once realize that, how these needs can be satisfied. So those under the things that we find out under the how. How means the technical requirements. When we understand what is the customer requirements and how this customer requirements can be translated, by understanding each of the needs, how it can be technically incorporated. So when we analyze each of the needs and convert it into technical requirements, then we call that as how. So what is the customer requirement, how to solve these customer needs, and then deployment is after it has been solved, that is we are finding out the technical requirements, we will have to make it happen throughout the organization. So that is known as deployment. That is how the word quality function deployment has come into existence. Okay. Now, when we find out that however we have to put it in, we are putting it in a schematic diagram, which is known as the house of quality. So this house of quality, what we have is, it is looking like the roof of a house. Then there will be a body, rectangular boxes are drawn. So this rectangular box, one rectangular box will define what it is, that is the customer needs. Then from this customer needs, we are going to write in another rectangular box the technical requirements, and we will be evaluating this customer needs and giving it the importance. What is the importance of ratings? So how do we do this? First, when we get the customer requirements, we define it as parameters. So once we know these parameters, we again develop a questionnaire sort of thing. This what is converted into questionnaires, and we give it to the customer himself and ask him to rate it in a Likert scale, ranging from 1 to 5. So according to the customer thinking, how much important each of his needs is, he will be rating it as 1 to 5, and that we will be calculating to get the importance of these customer needs. Similarly, these customer needs, once it has been evaluated, then each of the needs, how it can be accomplished, that is known as the technical requirements. And through these technical requirements, manufacturing can be carried out. So this will also be rated accordingly. This will be again distributed to the customers. Or you can say the technical requirements will be distributed. The questionnaires that deals with the technical requirements, it will be given to experts who will again rate or give the relationship between what and how, and we are going to draw it in a diagram which fits all these requirements in a single diagram, which is known as the house of quality. So this is the schematic diagram which shows the house of quality. See why I'm telling it as house of quality. This is the roof. Okay, the roof represents the roof of a house, of our own home. So this is the roof, and the first one which I told you, the customer needs, which defines the what, WHAT. So what is the requirement that is filled along this square? One by one, you will be writing down the needs, and then this needs will be distributed in the form of questionnaires to the customers, who will be ranking it, and by using the weighted moving average, we can understand the importance of ranking, and that is written down by the side of this customer needs against each of the needs. This is the importance of the ranking. Next, you have to develop the technical requirements. This technical requirements is known as the third step, or so here how this customer needs can be accomplished, that will be written over here. Okay. Then next, you have the relationship between the customer needs and the design attributes here. Relationship, that is the first customer needs with the first technical requirement, the first with the second technical requirement, first with the third, and so on. Each of the technical requirements which each of the customer needs will be written down here in terms of strong, moderate and weak relationships. Okay. So you can give for where if it is having a strong relationship, maybe you can allot a number 9. When it is if it is moderate, 3 marks can be allotted. If it is weak, you don't give any mark, or you can. And if there is no relation, if it is weak, you can allot 1 mark. And if there is no relation, then it will be a blank. So in this way, this is how we will be doing the this filling up this slot of relationship between customer needs and the design attributes. After finishing the 4th one, then we will see the customer perceptions. What is customer perceptions? What is the expectations of the customer? So expectation of the customer, this is the needs. Then again, the customer expectations will be the one which is your competitor will be doing, or the maybe there are 2 or 3 competitors. So their perceptions can be filled out here, and a comparison of what is your how your product is working and how the product of your customers can be calculated over here and placed. Then after the 5th, then you have here the correlation matrix. This correlation matrix will give a relationship each of the technical or the design attributes or the technical characteristics. That is the first characteristic. With the second, it will be related. Then the first and the third will be related. First and the fourth, similarly, second and the third, second and the fourth. And this way, this relation will be entered in this roof, which is known as the roof of the house of quality. And here again, the relationship will be as strong, moderate, or you can say weak, and then no relation. So no relation means it will be a blank. So what do we get from here? We can establish the flow down, we can relate what's and the house, and we can rank the importance as well. So in this way, this is the basic steps of calculating the house of quality and entering it. And then from this, we will find out the cost of feasibility. We can calculate the absolute values as the 7th step. The absolute values of the customer needs and the technical characteristics will be written over here. The column wise will be calculated here. And here again, you can again calculate the absolute weighted value for the customer along the horizontal wise. So both the things will give you the that is the 7th step will give you the engineering measures. So how much the technical characteristics are relatively, here also the importance of the ratings will be calculated, and then the absolute weight also will be calculated, and it can also be represented in the percentage form. So this is again a schematic diagram. It can be little bit changed. Yahan pe the column 1, it is giving the voice of the customers, which is defining what. And I told you the importance of rating is drawn next to this. It can also be shifted over here, but all the way the calculations will be the same. So yahan pe you have the customer importance rating. The 3rd point, they are giving the competitive assessment. The 4th is you are developing the technical characteristics. The 5th one, you are doing the relationship between the what and the how. And the 6th one, again, the importance of the technical characteristics is calculated. All this giving to the customer. You are not doing it yourself. It is from the questionnaires that has been developed and evaluated by the customers and the experts. Then again, the competitive assessment is carried out, and what will be the target values. And above, you have the correlation related characteristics between the technical characteristics. So this is in general the overall steps that you will be doing. So there are around 9 steps that will be carried out for a single product. That is single part, not a product, I should say. A product will be having number of parts. For a single part, this is the steps. So you can understand what quality you should maintain for each of the part, and that can be implemented. So you can see how in detail you can get the quality analysis of a single part using the house of quality. So the history goes back to 1960s, as I told you. It was developed by Japanese professors Shigeru Mizuno and Yogi Akau. And at that time, it was before the World War II. The statistical quality control was introduced just after the World War II, and it had taken place in Japanese manufacturing industry. So the whole calculation that we are doing for the quality function deployment is nothing but the statistical quality control process. Now, why do we use this QFD? This is to identify the customer needs. So in the earlier, very long back, before the, that is the World War II, what we have seen is any product is manufactured by the company, any manufacturing company, it has been taken, the customers take it as how it was manufactured. But later on, as the days went by, we are seeing that we have to see to the customer's needs. They are having so much of that is their requirements are changing every day, and for each of the product, the requirement for each of the customers is also changing. So in general, whenever a product is a success in the market, it means that the customers are demanding it. So when the customer is demanding, that means what we should do initially, we should go for the customer needs. What is the customer wants? So this is the, based on this, two fundamental reasons for using QFD is to improve the communication of the customer wants throughout the organization. That is, within the organization, the customer needs should be recognized by each and every employee of the organization, and also to improve the completeness of the specification. The technical specification should be completely met as per the customer needs, and it should be traceable directly to the customer wants and needs. So now it is not any indirect ways, it is directly, it is dealing with the customer wants and needs, and this will help us to improve the technical specifications from the point of view of the customers. So we can see our education institution as well, how it has changed. In the beginning, long back when we were in college, how the education was, and now what is the situation of the education. We are all leaning towards the customer point, facilities, etc. We are seeing that the students are happy with the institution, but before it was not like that. The institution was there, we went and took the admission, but now they are very choosy about the institution, about the branch, about the facilities they are getting. So that's why we say that the customer education, customer needs is very important. Excuse me, 1 minute, there is a call. Hello, hello. Good morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Abdiya. Okay, okay. Sir, can I have a 10 minutes break, 10-15 minutes break?
Hello.
Sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hi, ma'am.
Sir, actually, Arora sir is calling me. What can I do? Can I have a 10 minutes break?
Okay, ma'am.
Huh?
Okay.
I'm very sorry, sir. I told you yesterday, na? Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just I'll try to come back as early as possible. Please excuse me, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Just I'm coming.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hello, participants. Hello. Due to some
Yes,
urgent
sir.
work, ma'am will return within 10 minutes. So please wait. Okay?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Now it's audible, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. I'll continue. I'm sorry for the small interruption, but it was a little bit urgent. That's
Okay.
right. Otherwise,
Not
I
an
wouldn't
issue,
have
ma'am.
thought. Thank
Not
you.
an issue,
Can I
ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you
Yes,
so
ma'am.
much. So, like as I told you, the use of the quality function deployment, it is to initially improve the communication what the customer requires. Okay. So we should identify the customer requirements, what is their needs, and then we have to improve this customer requirements through by identifying the technical characteristics. Okay. And what is this technical characteristics? It is actually directly it is related to the customer wants and needs. So what does so again, when I come back to what do we mean by why I'm stressing this is the first step itself is very important whenever you start the quality function deployment. Whenever if you make a mistake here, then your whole research will go waste. So the first what it links, what a QFD links is the needs or the requirements of the customer, which we call it as the end user. Okay, who is using a product? That those are known as the end users, and those are our customers. So what is their requirements? That we will be identifying, and we will link those needs to the design, development, engineering, manufacturing, and service functions. Now, to empower this organization, we have to exceed the normal expectation. So what is the expectation we know? We will be marking it, because all these expectations when we are working out, these are all untangible. Now we have to convert it into tangible ones, and whenever we write down anything or the expectations, what is in actual, that will be marked, and but what is the expectation should be always above the normal. That will be a target. So this will provide us a level where we can reach the requirements of the customers above their expectations. When it is above their expectations, it will give you greater value. Okay. So the first point is you have to understand what the customer requirement is. Second, you have to take quality system thinking plus the psychology plus the knowledge of the customers. Then you will maximize the positive quality, which will add the value. Okay, the positive quality. Okay, and then you will comprehensive the quality system for the customer satisfaction, and then you you form a strategy to stay ahead of the game, because the fittest are the survivors. So the more you're fitter, the better you will be surviving in the market. So you'll have to stay ahead. It is not for 1 year or 2 years or 6 months we are working for the strategy. It should be for years to come. Okay. So how will we capture? The first step, what I told you, we should take the customer requirements. How will you do that? You go to the customer personally, take interviews, mark down the parameters that is required for that particular part. Then you focus on groups, and then you will do all these are done in context of the customer visits as well. Now, after finding out the parameters, forming the questionnaires, you will have to prioritize their needs. What is VOC? VOC is the voice of customers. This voice of customers, which you have written down one by one, this will be written in terms of, you will be calculating the importance to the customer, each of the needs. Importance to the customer, what is the current product of yours? What is your competitor's product? What is the competitor to product? What will be your future product? So all this you will be calculating. This will help you to find out the improvement factor, what will be the overall importance, and what is the percent importance of that customer needs, each of the needs. Now, where are the applications of this QFD? You can find it everywhere. In each and every sectors, you can implement this QFD. So it is virtually every industry and business, from aerospace, manufacturing, software, communication, IT sectors, chemical and pharmaceutical sectors, transportation, defense, government, R&D, food to service industry, etc. Anything, even your lab, your simple lab, any one lab you can take, and you can do the quality function deployment there. Okay. So even the labs can be incorporated to find what is the quality that is required. What is at present you have the quality and what is the expected quality you can calculate. So when we talk about this, what does that mean? It means business. So why does a firm do business? Because he requires its vitamin M. And what is this vitamin M? It is nothing but the customers for the business. Okay. So all the firm, what they require more and more customers to so that they will be in industry. It is not the old customers that is sufficient. They will have to add in new and new customers has to come in so that they can be ahead of always in the market. So how do you get them? It is very simple. You just make the products that the customer wants. And how do I know what my customer wants? That can be carried out using the QFD. So this QFD we can carry out by steps. So first step, finding out the customer requirements. Second step, finding out what is the technical requirements related to the customer requirements. Then relate the customer wants and define the relationship between the wants and the house. Then find the relationship between the technical requirement and the way between technical requirements. Then find the competitive assessment, prioritize the customer requirements, and then prioritize the technical requirements. So this I've explained this step by step, that is customer requirements. So how will you get the customer requirements? If you are in an organization, a manufacturing industry or a service industry, first you will form a team from the marketing, from the operations and engineering. Then your focus will be on the market segmentation. Then you will structure the requirements and find out why you require those needs. Is it important? Then you will rate the important requirements based on the customers. Then you put it in the house of quality. And at the end, you will know what is expected and what is exciting the customers. So this is the sequence of steps, how you calculate the customer requirements. Now, this is an example how it is to be incorporated, how your calculations will be done. First is the customer needs. So the first block I told you, column, here the customer needs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I've just plotted down 8 of the customer needs. Then what is the degree of importance? Well, how much? So I am rating it in the scale of Likert scale, 1 to 5. So how important it is? It is very important. I'm writing it as 5. If it is a little bit not so very important, but it is still important, 4. Then below that, I feel then it is 3 and 2 and 1, etc. So in this way, I have rated the degree of importance against each of these customer needs. Then now what is the importance? That I will get it from the customers, that is the system now. How much important the degree, the importance is. Again, this will be distributed to the customers and they will be rating it from the Likert scale of 1 to 5. Then you have to write the degree of importance according to your plans. The first one is giving the degree of importance which is required, and the third column is giving you the planned level, how much you can reach. So this is the maximum, this is what you can reach. This is the maximum, but in your system you can reach as 4. This is the maximum 5 for the third one, you are reaching 4. So what is your level, how much you can reach. This second column is giving you what you are at present. The third column is giving you how much you should acquire. And based on this, you will be calculating the improvement ratio. You will calculate the So in this way, the 4th, 5th, and 6th, 4th is the improvement ratio. Improvement ratio, it is giving the it is the ratio between the planned level divided by the system now. Importance of the weight, it is the degree of importance. What is the degree of importance? The first column into your improvement ratio value. Then the third one is the relative weight. How will you calculate the relative weight? Relative weight is calculated by the importance weight, that is the fourth column, the fifth column, divided by the summation of the importance weight. So you total it up, all these, you total up, that is the summation, and for each individual relative weight, it will be, say for example, yahan pe it is 12.5. So 12.5 divided by totaling the whole of the column. That will give you the relative weight into 100 will give the relative weight in percentage. Okay. So this is how we will be calculating for the customer need. Similarly, we will be calculating for the technical requirements, and then we will be doing the relationship on the correlation relation matrix at the roof, and in this way we can solve the HOQ, that is the house of quality. So thus the weighting indicates not only the customer's voice, but it will also consider the requirement that is most important from the system developer's point of view as well. So it is the involving the whole organization as such. So next point is the product's technical requirements. So how will you get those watts? The previous one, that was the watt and how the calculation is done. Then based on those watts, how those watts can be accomplished, that is how, the answer is how, and the technical requirements is developed. So finding the technical components, it will be mapped and hence to address the requirements. So the important point is getting them quantified. Relate customer watts to product house. So is there any relationship between what my product is and what my customer expectation is? You can relate it using this relationship matrix. Then if yes, then how strong it is. So when it is very strong, we give it as 9 points. When it is moderate strong, we can give it as 3 points. When it is weak, we allot a 1 point. And if there is no relationship, then we leave it as a blank. So if there is no relationship, then how can I document it? That we will be analyzing once our product research has been finished. So this is a special case, another example. So this is the customer needs. So there is on some example, accurate reports, quick turnaround, economical. So these are the customer requirements that has been noted from the customer. And to obtain these customers, these are the technical requirements. So accurate reports relating to training, it is very strong. So they have given a green mark. Accurate reports to equipment, it is not very much so very strong. So an orange. And when it is weak, it is a red one. And there is no relationship. That is a report and resources. There is no relationship. It is left as blank. So in this way, the coloring will also indicate as 9. Green will denote a 9 point. Orange can denote a 3 point. Red can denote a 1 point. And the empty space, it denotes a 0 point. So there you can see there is an empty row. There is an empty column. There is a row or column with no strong relationship. We can then a row or column with too many strong relationships. So all this can be calculated, which will give you the assessment of the customer requirements and the technical requirements. So this is an example, because actually the quality function deployment ka diagram jo hai, it is all in one, which we will not be able to show it in the PPT, but still I have tried to put it over here. So see my arrow, what I have done. This is the customer needs here. This is the technical requirements along this portion. And this is the calculations that has been done. Degree of importance, system now, product plant level, improvement ratio, importance weight, and relative weight. So this has been calculated, as I have told you how it is calculated. And these are the relationship. This is showing you instead of writing the points, they can denote as dots, rectangle, or a empty circle, or an empty cell. So you can denote it in any way, and you can represent on this side, like when it is like I have written over here, it is fully completely filled circle, then a black dot, it is strong. a circle, it is moderate. A weak is denoted as a square, and as a square inside that a cross is there. Because it is very small, you're not able to make that. A square with a cross is very weak. That means I'll give it a 0.1. And if it is blank, it is a negative. That is, this is giving a negative color. Colored one is giving a negative value as well. And this those which are blank, these give a 0 value. So in this way, you can allot any number of points so that you can convert the untangible value aspects to a tangible aspects, and you can calculate the degree of importance, simple system new, etc. All that here, the numbers that you have got is by converting this untangible values to a tangible values. And here, the importance of weight is calculated. So this column wise it is calculated and it is marked. And what is the relative weight in percentage? How we have calculated here in similar way, this gives the percentage of its weight relative in a relative manner. So this is the calculation. The importance weight I had already told you. The importance weight of technical requirement in the previous, that is the column below. The summation of the correlation value into the relative weight. Then the relative weight of the technical requirement will be equal to the importance weight of the technical requirement divided by the summation of the importance weight of the technical requirement into 100. How we are done at the customer needs. Similarly, the relative weights and the relative the importance of the weight of the technical requirements are calculated. The next fourth step is to get the technical requirement mapping to each and every every technical requirement. So you're mapping each technical requirement to the other, each and every other technical requirement. That will answer the question why. Then why is it required? Because the technical requirements, they are interdependent. Hence, change in one can actually lead to improvement in another and deterioration in another. So you can understand which is the improved one, which is the deteriorated one by understanding the mapping between technical requirements. What does that give you? Interdependency values. So these interdependency values, you can write it as strongly positive again, positive, strongly negative, and negative. Any way, how you want to represent it, you can represent it and calculate it. So this actually the interdependency of the technical requirements with the other technical requirements, this is actually the giving you the roof, that is the correlation matrix. So the relationship at the roof that we are representing, that is known as the correlation matrix, because the relationship is between the technical requirements and technical requirements. The relationship matrix is the relationship between the customer needs and technical requirements. So it is known as relationship. And when we are finding the relationship between technical requirements and technical requirements, we call it as correlation matrix. Okay. So there is a difference between relation matrix and correlation matrix. The first one will be how to find the competitive assessment. The same way, in the competitors, what are the needs, how you find out the importance of their rating of that company. That will give you the competitive. Maybe there is competitor 1, competitor 2, competitor 3, etc. So how will you do that? You will identify the competitors. Then you will reverse the engineering on the competitors' products. Then you will find out a common set of customer requirements. Then you will evaluate it in a similar manner, how we have done it in our system, similar manner. Then you will prioritize the customer requirements. So what we have done, so suppose this is ours. The first column is representing our service, then service of A, competitor 1, competitor 2, then finding out the various values. Okay. The calculation is the same. Then again here, the prioritizing the technical requirements. This is the, you can say up till the friendly customer service. Till this we have got the customer requirements. This is the you can say this training, equipment maintenance, adequate resources, reduced waste. These are the technical requirements, and below this is giving you the prioritized technical requirements. This side on my right, which I'm showing you, degree of importance and absolute weight, this is known as prioritizing of the customer requirements, and below this, these columns, this is giving you the prioritization of the technical requirements. So here I'm giving you a few one manufacturing example of an automobile bumper. The customer, there is what is the customer request? He says that there is too much of damage to the bumpers in low speed collisions. So the customer wants a better bumper, and small dent soon develops into damage. Okay. So this is the customer request. This is the problem that the customer is facing. So for that, first I have to find out the customer requirements. So what will be the customer requirements? Identifying the customer needs. One, the repair department, what the automobile, the manufacturing plant, and the sales force. These will be my customers. Then second point, I will go to them, ask their requirements, and put down their points. So they are saying that I want something that looks nice, basic requirement. I want something that will hold my license plate, that is the performance. I want it strong enough not to dent, that is their one level excitement level. Then it must protect my tail lights and the headlights, that is performance. Then I don't want to pay too much, that is the basic requirement. So this basic, performance, excitement, performance again, and basic, these are actually the requirements of the, or you can say constraints of the customers, that was found from the customers of the repair department, automobile owner, manufacturing plant, and sales force who uses this product, that is the car. Now I prioritize the customer requirements. I'm putting the customer requirements that I had found out in the first step. I've looked good, it should look good, then it should hold a license plate, it should resist dents, then protect the lights, it shouldn't rust, it should last for a long time, it should be inexpensive, it should protect from any other further, the front side, it should be protective. And these are the 8 points that has been identified as the customer needs. And then the calculation has been carried out as per the customer requirements, which we have seen the calculation. Now next, what I require with this as my customer requirements, I will then find out what will be the engineering requirements or the technical requirements. Then I'll find the matrix, then the target will be calculated. Yahan pe the competitive benchmarks will also be written down. Okay, so this is how the first step is done. Next, I will take the requirements. So competition benchmarking, it will be done by identifying the competitors, then test and analyze the competitor products, then reverse the engineer competitor products, then rate the competitor products against the customer requirements of the constraint. So these, based on these 4 points, I'll be further developing the competitors benchmarking. So based on that, I have developed the competitive benchmarks for competitor 1, competitor 2, and competitor 3, and have marked these ones. 1 minute, sir. Hello. Hello. Good morning, sir. Hello. 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 Okay. Sorry again for the interference. Okay. So here I have put the house of quality chart. On one side, it is the customer requirement, and on the other side, I have the competitor 1, 2, and 3, and I have calculated it and have these are the benchmarks. Okay. So these benchmarks will be compared to what I am existing now and what will be my future requirement. So this will be compared with that. And the middle one will give you the relationship between the engineering requirements and the customer requirements. And region 5 will give you the calculation of the engineering requirements. Now step 5 and 6 translate the customer requirements into measurable engineering specifications, and you will define the target values. So this will be a step 5 and 6. After finding the customer requirements and calculating, and then we will be we'll be taking the customer, after the customer requirements, we will be taking the technical requirements, and then based on this technical requirements and the customer requirements, further calculations will be done to measure the engineering specifications and define the target values. So specify how the license plate will be held, that will be explaining. Specify how to resist the dents through material yield, strength, Young's modulus. So you see, these are the technical requirements. Now, when I have written the customer requirements, those customer requirements will be converted to technical requirements. So each of that, how I will obtain, will be converted to the technical requirements. So specify with a dollar amount the term inexpensive. Okay, so dollar or rupees, that will be inexpensive. See, now this is the engineering requirements. In this engineering requirements, I have these are the technical requirements: yield strength, Young's modulus, mounting a hole separation. 1 minute. Hello. हाँ, थैंक यू संजय, मैं ना एक FDP में हूँ, थोड़ी देर के बाद मैं कॉल करती हूँ, ठीक है? ओके ओके. So these are the engineering requirements: field strength, Young's modulus, then mounting the hole separation, plotting the thickness, effective spring constant, then cross section, moment of inertia, weight, and maximum deflection, as well as cost. So what I have found out as the customer requirements, I have converted it into technical requirements. What are these technical requirements? How I will accomplish these customer requirements? Like, it is looking good. So for looking good, which I will relate? I will be relating it to the thickness. So thickness of the plating, then maybe the paint I can include, what the quality of the paint, etc. So there are many other things that you can include, but which is most important, that you will have to find out. 1 minute. Hello. So this is the various engineering requirements. I'm calculating it in terms of the customer competitor A, B, C, and then what are the units that is used for each of these engineering requirements I have done, and what will be the engineering targets will be found out and calculated. So this is the most important result analysis of any automobile. This is an example which I had given you. Okay. So another which is very interesting, I found out the deployment of how to find the quality of a pizza. Okay, so eatables is also, I told you, any of the industry we can incorporate this house of quality calculation or the QFD calculation. So what will be the objectives? Objective will be, you have to focus the customer requirements, then you have to manage the information which is required, then you have to improve the marketing and develop the collaboration, you have to reduce the cost, and then this should help you to shorten the time to market. That is, to your product going to the market, this will help you to shorten by bringing up the quality that is required as per the customer needs. So this is the basic structure of house of quality. So this is the correlation matrix, and this is the general one, which we had already seen. I had just drawn for the pizza. Then working methodology for this, 7 steps. identifying the customer needs, identify how the goods or service will satisfy the customer, relate the customer wants, identify the relationship, then develop the importance ratings, then evaluate the competing products, and determine finally the technical attributes. What is your performance? What is your competitor's performance against these attributes? So this is basically the 7 steps. So now it is mouth-watering pizza. It is I'm just giving a definition. It is having it is an oven baked one. It is flat. It is disc-shaped bread. It is usually topped with tomato sauce, mozzarella. Then it has a selection of meat, salamis, seafood, cheeses. So any of the combination can be there. One second. Hello. हाँ ठीक है. Hello, good morning, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. जी.
Ma'am, you are not audible, ma'am.
Oh. Now?
Now you are
audible.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. So this is the another example. So here, first we should identify what are the types of pizza that is available. So here I have written down the various types of pizzas and what will be their requirements as per the customer needs. That will be identified as the first step. So it should have a good texture is the requirement. Then there should be generous portions. Then it should taste good. It should be low price. Then appetizing appearance. So you see how the difference of a industrial product is and how a service product or a food product is. So you should identify, this is the most important point. You should identify what is the customer needs and what is their requirement according to what your product is. Now, when I go to the how the good service can be satisfy the customer, it was the color, then there was the strength, then so this I have related to the mechanical point of view. Then what will be the weight, then what will be the diameter, thickness, what will be the scale rating, then what will be the cost per pizza, what will be the density of topping. So a thing like, because we are engineers, we are trying to relate whatever the food identification is to what is to a mechanical product as well, properties as well. Okay. So next we will relate the customer wants to the product house. So the key thing is whenever we are relating it, we will relate it in 3 relationship. One is high relationship, medium relationship, and low relationship. So I have taken only 3 relationship here because the product is of a small type, food variety. So we don't need to go for a large number of like strong, very moderate, then weak, then a negative relationship, then no relation. So much of varieties is not required when we have to. So it will depend upon what your product is and how much types of relationship you can hold, so that you can get the quality, the result of your calculation. So you'll find out the relationship between the firm's house. So what is this firm's house? This is the technical requirements. So this again will be the, as I told you, it is on the roof of the house, and this will include the relationship between the things that we should do to manufacture to get the customer needs. So it gives a relationship among the company's house. So the key will be again high relationship, medium, and negative relationship. So coming to the result, so here along this column, I have given the customer wants, and I have rated its importance here as per the customers. Okay. Then here I have compared it with 2-3 other companies. So company Alpha, Beta, then another company named Charlie. So each of these customer needs, how it is according to the customer's point of view, I have rated it as good, fair, and poor. So to determine the desirable technical attributes, your performance and the competitor's performance against these attributes has to be found out. So in this step, we have to determine the desirable technical attribute, our performance, and the competitor's performance against all these attributes. So it is the relationship between, or the correlation matrix. So this is the final house of quality for the pizza. This यहाँ पे you find the customer needs. This you can see my arrow. This is giving you the product's house. When I say how, it is defining the technical requirements. This is giving the comparison of your competitors. Okay. Yeah, this is giving the importance of rating. Yaha pe again there is one more column which is giving the importance of rating of your customer wants. This is the this one which I'm showing you, this arrow. I'm moving from left to right. This is showing from left to right, and this is showing the importance of the technical requirements. And this is the roof which gives the correlation matrix. This is the relationship matrix between the customer wants and the product house. So this is the whole of the house of quality. So whatever calculations, whatever you have done in these 7 steps, these are incorporated finally in this diagram. So the applications of QFD and HOQ, this is one of the best tools that is available for clarifying the voice of customer. So it is important to know that the customer in question, they may be a product, or it may be a service consumer, a corporate executive, or even another department within the same company as well. So it can be anything. In fact, the customer in question, it may even be oneself. It may be yourselves only. For the HOQ tool, hence it is an excellent way to evaluate a complex decision and prioritize one's own requirements. So it needn't be a number of customers you want to calculate. You can also evaluate on the basis of your needs. One customer. Okay. Now, when I'm talking about project management, that is any project, small scale industries, when you're doing, you have to distribute the hours, how you are able to complete the project. So this is a simple calculation of face time and how much hours I will take. The first step for me is customer requirements. I have to collect the customer requirements. I have to group them, and I have to conduct the meetings and finalize the how much weightage it is. So for collecting the parameters, it took 8 hours. It may take 8 hours. For grouping and then prioritizing, once this is obtained, it is not so very tough job for grouping and so it will take minimum of 3 hours. Then you will again conduct meetings, interviews, etc. Another 4 hours. Okay. Now coming to the technical requirements, collecting the technical requirements, 3, prioritizing them, 4 hours. Then conducting meetings and coming to a conclusion, 3 hours. Then, so these all will include even the developing the relationship between the customer requirements and the technical requirements. Now, house of quality, that is the roof. You have to create the roof and you have to write down the relationship. It will take 5 hours. Then conducting the meetings and seeing whether it is valid, it will take 3 hours. Then the technical feature comparison, creating that, 3 hours. Conducting meeting and finalizing your project, it will be 2 hours. This is how you manage the project. Okay. And finalizing, if you total up all this, and 2 hours you will take for finalizing. That is, once everything is set up, before coming to a conclusion, you will have to finalize whether it is right or wrong, each and every step. So say 2 hours when it is a small sort of quality function deployment. So total hours for that, to solve this, it will take at least a minimum of 40 hours. Okay, keeping this in mind, you can proceed your research work. So the conclusion is that is, QFD is a powerful tool in service and industry. It can be applied in industry activity at every stage. It can identify the weakness in manufacturing process in various factories and our position with respect to the competitors, successful in determining the policies which would result in a better satisfaction of the customers. So the benefits will be, it will reduce the development time, it will improve the teamwork. So this can be done using a team. Okay, so it will reduce the cost, quick new product release can be obtained, then documentation will be there, critical quality features can be identified, and you can find out the right technology which you can implement. So how this QFD as a method to help project management is, it will help you to determine the correlationships between technical requirements and the customer needs, which is an interesting phase. Then it will give a new view of point of view to the requirements, which is totally new compared to your previous project work. Then because you are enhancing the quality, then the result matrix, it is most interesting result of QFD, especially when decision making in the project is required. Then the result that will reveal, it is actually related to the real impacts that the technical requirements should fulfill the customer needs. So one of the most valuable document to base your decision is the technical correlation matrix. Okay, from this, the effects of single technical requirement to the other technical requirements is visible. On the other hand, the technical requirements which affect a single technical need can also be seen, and it is a valuable document to see the side effects, the improvement of technical requirement causes. So these are the references I had seen. It is available online. And thank you so much for your patient listening. And there had been an interference in between 2 times, 3 times. I am really sorry for that. I hope this has been fruitful.
Yes, yes, participants, if you have any query, you can ask.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Hello.
I hope this was very useful to all of you all. I can see a number of participations here.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
yes, yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good morning, ma'am. I'm Manoj Kumar Raut from BITM Bhubaneswar.
Okay. Good morning, sir.
My question is, good morning,
Yeah.
ma'am. My question is, why quality function deployment is not successfully implemented in case of eastern part of India? If you take the example of Odisha, if you take the example of Chhattisgarh, if you take the example of Jharkhand, what is the reason behind it, ma'am?
Do you feel it is not successful, or is it that they do not know how to implement the quality function deployment? I feel that the way they're implementing it, maybe they are somewhere. I told you, initially what you have to concentrate is the customer needs. If that is going wrong, then your calculations will only mislead, or it might not give up the proper calculation. But If you go religiously, if you follow the quality function deployment step by step with patience, then it is going to be a success. There is no doubt about it. Yeah, the identification is most important, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, any other question? Okay, so
Anyone
there are-
else?
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
Dr. Karishma Chaudhary from Institute. Can I put a question, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
yes,
ma'am.
yes.
Sure.
Ma'am, it was a wonderful session. I was also always confused about some parts of QFD, and you have cleared all
Thank
my
you,
doubts
ma'am.
today.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
I
much
just,
that it was useful to you. Yeah.
ma'am,
Thank you, ma'am.
definitely. Ma'am, I want to ask, can we apply it in some sectors like waste management, or it is
Definitely,
for
ma'am. Definitely. In any sectors you can apply. The basic thing is the identification of the customers is most important, which should be the right one. Once you have
Okay, ma'am.
identified it properly, then there will not be any question of then your technical requirements relating to getting the customer requirements. You have to identify the correct technical requirements. Then
Okay,
it is
ma'am, and
there.
like, is there any
Yeah.
number, like how many technical requirements can be there from customer side, or
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. It is. Can you please
like
repeat?
is there any restriction on number of like requirements we can have from like voice
Yeah.
of customer side?
Ma'am, actually, no, you should identify the customer requirements, and whatever the requirements the customer is telling, that you will be noting down, and then you will be calculating the importance of rating. Okay, so when you calculate the importance of rating, you should actually take which is the importance more than 70%, above 70%. In the literature review, it is there a paper where we will be considering only those customer requirements which is having a value greater than 70%, where you can calculate using the weighted moving average. So now the total customer requirement which you had you had noted down from the customers, it will get reduced actually. And then whichever has got 70% and above, that means these are the most important quality factors that is needed by the customers. And for these factors, you take the technical requirements. And again, there also, again, you go to experts, you ask them how they are rating that. And in that case also, where there is 70% and above requirement, only those technical requirements you can take. So it will again get reduced. So you can incorporate any number of technical requirements, which is very most important. There is no limitation. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Welcome, ma'am. Any other?
Anyone?
Sir? Anyone else? I hope you will be able to incorporate in the research which I had. It can be a part of your research work to show the quality of your product. You can go to the thermal part, then there you can incorporate the quality function deployment to find out the quality parameters that is required. You can go to the design part, then you can again incorporate the QFD as another method or another part module of your research, which will enhance your product, your project work, your research work. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. I think now there are no more
Yes, sir.
queries. So now first
Yes,
of all, I would like to thank you for
welcome, sir. It's my pleasure, sir.
accepting
It's my
our
pleasure.
invitation to conduct a nice session.
Thank you so much.
I'm very much
Thank
thankful
you,
to
sir.
you, ma'am, for sparing your valuable time also and sharing your knowledge with us. Already,
So first I should thank you, sir, for inviting me to such a good presentation, for
welcome,
giving me
welcome.
an exposure.
In spite of your busy schedule today, you had a very urgent meeting and you have accepted and ready to take this
That was
session.
actually, I'm really sorry for that, which was unavoidable actually.
It's okay,
That's
ma'am.
why.
So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
it was a very nice session and informative
Thank
and
you, sir.
also made it
Thank you, sir.
very interactive
If I am
session.
of help to anyone also, I'm always available. There's no
Yeah.
problem at all. You can always approach me.
So thank you all the participants also for joining and listening the whole session with patience. So thank you all again. Thank you, ma'am.